Stupid golden. Alright. Hey guys, I'm Timmy. I like to do revenants. I mean, there's definitely people that do them a lot more than I do, but I have already done 650 tier 4s, and I promise I got some sleep since the update came out. But yeah, I thought since I've done so many of them and I got to the point where I do them kind of without thinking now, kind of muscle memory, I thought I would kind of share the strategies that work for me. And hopefully it would help you. And I will say that my strategies are a little different than the ones I've already seen. Specifically, I don't recommend fighting the boss in here. That actually, this is where I die the most, is if I accidentally spawn him in there. I also try to avoid things like stairs or very steep things. I guess, so the main thing I focus on when fighting the boss is trying to stay a comfortable distance away from him, but constantly being able to whack him and making the Revenant move in a predictable path. Things like this, the AI will kind of glitch out and he'll start like doing like little circle thingies going down the stairs and stuff, and so it just makes it a little harder. So that's kind of like the first tip I do. I usually try to get in one of these hallways and I essentially have him follow me, like this zombie right here. And I'm like whacking at him. Of course I don't want to kill him with that to demonstrate. And I'm just constantly whacking at him and I'm crouching with the speed and I'm getting out of the circles. And you can even go like all the way up here. It's okay if there are some stairs because obviously you're not going to be able to avoid them, but this area is also a little bad. He does like to do the little spinning AI thingy over here. This top area is pretty good, and this long hallway is really good, going all the way up there. You basically have them follow you going backwards, so I can demonstrate that. The second thing that helps a lot is getting a Flower of Truth and sword swapping the Flower of Truth with a Reaper Falchion or whatever your damage is, like equivalent. So like a Valkyrie I think a Valkyrie does just as much damage as a Reaper Falch, so I don't know, don't quote me on that, but whatever gives you the mad damage, you know. So I'll demonstrate here. I also place an orb, but basically I'm just crouching. I'm actually letting him kind of push me out of the circles. Once you get to 3 mil, he'll start doing it faster, and that's when I kind of like do the Flower of Truth swap. So I want to obviously stay away from the clay on the ground because that's where the TNT is going to land. So I back up a lot more. I shoot a Flower of Truth. And then you can see if I immediately swap to my sword, my Reaper Falch, it does the damage of the Reaper Falch. Now, obviously you can tell I'm doing a lot of damage, and that kind of is the advantage of full Necron, Tara Helmet. Obviously, higher damage the better. The main thing you're worried about is getting hit by the TNT, because even in full Necron, that will one-shot you. I think if you use a Yeti or a Blue Whale, you could tank like an extra TNT hit. So if you want to do that to kind of like practice and get a ton of EHP, it might help, but you really want to get to the point where you're not getting hit by the TNT at all. You want to be able to just keep whacking at him without getting hit by the TNT. So because even if you can take an extra hit, if you're not able to dodge the TNT that well, he's gonna get you on the second hit, you know. Okay, so the thing is, I kind of have an advantage with already being combat 60 and having a lot of the talismans, and some of you guys are not that high up yet, so you don't do as much damage. So the rev is definitely a lot harder. But trust me, the strategy, even though it will take longer to kill it, I still recommend the strategy, and I will kind of demonstrate by purposely making myself weaker by using Emerald Armor. So that was 300 damage. I'm gonna actually switch my pet too. So I'm doing 274. I think if you have like Shadow Assassin or Superior, you should be able to do that much damage. And if you don't have at least that stuff, then I guess you're just I don't know what to say. You might not be ready for tier 5s yet. So I'm gonna do that in this armor because this is about the HP of Superior, and I'm doing about that much damage, which you guys hopefully can do. Okay, so right, just like before, I'm just kind of trying to get his movement to be predictable. I hate when he makes those circles. If he gets far from me, I instinctively pull out the Flower of Truth and do the sword swap thingy instead of running up to him, because especially if there's a TNT clay thingy in the way. And obviously this will take longer, and you might get to the point where he does the lightning thing, but that's already 3 mil. That's when he starts throwing them faster. This is the part where, since he's throwing them a lot faster, you definitely want to keep moving. During this part, I just spam that and then stay away. Maybe I have killed him during that before by spamming the Flower of Truth, but I wouldn't risk it. Oh, his health has actually gone up from that. But basically, if you just can navigate backwards, you'll pretty much be safe. And using Flower of Truth, you can do damage from farther away if you need to. And there we go. And of course that wasn't the best one. You can, if you get a lot better hits on him, if he's a lot more predictable and not running circles and stuff, the less you have to use the Flower of Truth in the first place, the better. But sometimes he is a little unpredictable and wild with his movements, and so you run into situations like that. But your goal is to get him to move in a sort of predictable way. And I'll actually do a couple of tier 5s with this lower damage, just to demonstrate that it's possible. Obviously, do as much damage as you can. His regular hits aren't really the issue. Even if he does hit you, it's not much of a problem. Because he doesn't. It's really the TNT that you want to avoid. I guess kind of getting the timing of the TNT too. Like I kind of know how long I have before it will land on me. But basically, I just want to drag him along. Now he's at that one. He makes that noise when he reaches below 4 mil and starts throwing him faster. But see, I'm getting a lot more hits on him. I kind of had to turn it around, and now he's doing that. So I'm just gonna spam do Flower of Truth, and I actually killed him. So there we go. Hopefully that helps. There's a lot of different strategies I've seen. This is what works best for me, and so I don't know. Yeah, thanks for watching.